Next on the news, the Catholic school students of today could become the Catholic school teachers of tomorrow thanks to a special partnership.
Future educators getting a financial boost through a scholarship program at St. John's University. I'm Katie Vasquez, and I'll have that story coming up.
He biked hundreds of miles across Poland in an effort to stop hate, and this Queens Catholic man has now caught the attention of the Vatican. Plus,
it was important for us to make the book available in Braille because otherwise it wouldn't be available in Braille to our blind patrons.
They're on a mission to help the blind grow in their faith by making Catholic texts accessible. The latest publication, a New York Times bestseller, penned by a pope. I'm Christine Persichetti. Currents News starts right now. College can be costly, setting families back tens of thousands of dollars. But now a new scholarship at St. John's University is helping aspiring Catholic educators get their degree and spread their knowledge and faith in Diocese of Brooklyn schools. Currents News' Katie Vasquez has the details from Jamaica, Queens.
High school has wrapped up for Jillian Anzalone, and now the St. Francis Prep senior is ready to take on her next challenge, college. She plans to attend St. John's University in the fall, her dream school.
I didn't want to go far, but the campus is really pretty. I just really loved it when I went there.
She's always loved being around kids and decided teaching would be the best career path for her.
And I realized this summer when Prep gave me the opportunity to work with the summer youth camp for the cheerleading team, I got to really work with kids and be in charge, and I was like, I think I really like this.
And the Queens Catholic College is helping make that dream a reality, thanks to a new partnership between the Office of the Superintendent of Schools for the Diocese of Brooklyn and St. John's University.
It's a calling to teach in a Catholic school. It's a calling to be a Catholic school principal. And I think it's giving them the opportunity and the financial support or assistance to fulfill that dream.
The Future Catholic School Teacher Scholarship aims to recruit and train new elementary school teachers for the Diocese of Brooklyn by providing a $10,000 scholarship over 4 years. In exchange, students like Jillian agree to teach in a Catholic elementary school at least 4 years after graduating, or they have to pay the money back.
If we put money in the game and Brooklyn puts money in the game, then we want to be sure these students are going to go back to teaching in the Brooklyn schools.
Not only does it alleviate the financial burden for students, but schools will get teachers with a strong faith foundation.
A place like St. John's, given our faith background at this university, can really focus on the preparation of teachers in ways that meet the needs of those schools.
It will allow our schools to continue to recruit qualified teachers. So for us, this is like a real win-win situation, especially in light we're all aware of the teacher shortage.
And Jillian is looking forward to continuing the path she's always wanted.
I thought it was the best opportunity because it just works out in my plan that I want to pursue.
The program will also help students pursue master's degrees with up to a 70% reduction on tuition. Katie Vasquez, Currents News.
For more information on the scholarship, just go to stjohns.edu and search for Institute for Catholic Schools. A Queens Catholic man has completed his pilgrimage on wheels against hate with a special blessing from the Vatican. Victor Mooney traveled nearly 700 miles around Poland, visiting historic sites like Auschwitz, all to bring awareness to rising anti-Semitism around the world. The Catholic was inspired by the late Pope Francis's trip to the concentration camp in 2016, and the current pontiff took notice, inviting Victor to the Eternal City. Victor says his encounter with Pope Leo XIV was one of the most moving parts of his journey.
I said, Holy Father, still bless you. I mean, my prayers are for you and for your papacy. And I said, I'm a missionary of hope. And this is the journey that I've been on. And he listened, and he gave me a prayer, and it was again another tearful moment that I didn't think. I mean, I've seen, 2 popes, and I couldn't even imagine that I would see another Holy Father in my lifetime. But God works in mysterious ways.
Victor told Pope Leo that he prays for him and his papacy. As fighting between Israel and Iran enters its 5th day, Catholic leaders around the world are calling for an end to the current conflict. Bishop Abdallah Zaidan, the chair of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops Committee on International Justice and Peace, released this statement that said in part, "I call on Catholics and all men and women of goodwill in the United States and around the world to ardently pray for an end to hostilities in the Middle East. May the Prince of Peace move the hearts and illumine the minds of all for the attainment of peace in the region." Pope Leo has been using his public audiences to spread a message of peace in the Middle East.
Si è gravemente deteriorata la situazione in Iran e Israele in un momento così delicato, desidero rinnovare con forza un appello alla responsabilità e alla ragione.
The Holy Father's call for peace was during a celebration for the Jubilee of Sport and the Solemnity of the Most Holy Trinity over the weekend. Pope Leo's predecessor also worked to bring about world peace. In his autobiography, Hope, the late Pope Francis reiterated many themes of his papacy, including his hatred of war, concern for the environment, and support of migrants. And now that book is becoming accessible to even more readers. Joining us now is Malachi Fallon, the executive director of Xavier Society for the Blind. Malachi, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Christine.
So, Malachi, because of your team, Hope, the autobiography of Pope Francis, is now available in Braille. Why was this important to do? Were people asking for the book?
Yep. So Pope Francis, as you can imagine, was a popular figure and very charismatic and much beloved by our patrons. So it was important for us to make the book available in Braille because otherwise it wouldn't be available in Braille to our blind patrons. So for that reason, because of his popularity, it was very much requested and continues to be much requested by our patrons.
Yes, definitely a beloved Pope. And if you take a look at this book, it's about, I don't know, 320 pages, but the version in Braille, if you want to take it out so our viewers can see it, it's 4 volumes and they're pretty big. So this was quite an undertaking, wasn't it?
That's right. That's right. I often say, it reminds me of the old commercial, this is your brain and this is your brain on drugs. This is your book and this is your book in Braille. So it's a much bigger undertaking and many more volumes. So yes, this is 4 volumes in Braille. We do the transcription, basically the translation from the printed word into Braille in-house. And then depending upon the demand for the book, we'll emboss, which is the printing of the Braille books. We'll emboss them in-house, and then on occasion then we'll work with other organizations to do larger volumes of Braille embossing for our patrons.
And you're offering this for free to your patrons. I mean, this has got to be an expense. Do you rely on donors? How do you do that?
That's right. So we're very fortunate, and everything that we've done since our founding in 1900, everything we've provided free of charge. So we are fortunate to have individual donors who are very faithful to us, and there are a number of smaller family foundations that support our mission as well.
Wow, that's great. And I know your society has a pretty big library collection. Tell us a few books that you already have in Braille and any ones that you're maybe looking to work on now.
Sure. So we've got about 1,400 titles in Braille currently and a similar number of books in audio. So we also produce audio books. So this past year we've been focusing, and again because of the popularity of Pope Francis, he had declared this to be a Jubilee year, and there were a number of books that were published in conjunction with that, both by the Pope and by other authors. So we've got a number of those recent titles that we've provided both in Braille and audio.
And Pope Leo's books coming out?
So soon to come, yeah. So there are a number of the Catholic publishers, and we have a very good relationship with many of the Catholic publishers. So there are a number of titles that are underway, and we expect to have those available in Braille shortly.
Wow, exciting stuff. Malachi Fallon, Executive Director of Xavier Society for the Blind, thanks for being here.
Thank you, Christine. Appreciate it.
To learn more about the Society, just go to XavierSocietyForTheBlind.org. There you can also see their full range of Braille texts, including Pope Francis's autobiography, by clicking on Browse Catalog on the upper right-hand corner. That is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.